In today's video, what I am going to be talking about is the best tool for actually assessing your overall health and deciding how to eat and how to exercise. And if you're somebody who has ever wondered what the best nutrition and workout plan is for you, based on your goals, based on what you're struggling with the most right now, then this video is for you. And if you have goals to improve your energy, your mood, your digestion, balance your hormones, and you're looking for a place to start, or you just want to make sure that you are focusing on the right things and you're not wasting your time, then this video is going to be really helpful for you. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Crozier, and I am a nutritional therapy practitioner. I help women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s improve the health of their hormones, their metabolism, and their digestion by learning how to properly fuel their body. And this helps them to have more energy, lose weight in a way that is actually healthy and sustainable and easy to stick to, and just feel more comfortable and confident in not only their body, but also their food choices. So things become almost automated and like second nature, and they no longer stress out about their health. So if you're here live, thank you for joining me. And if you're catching the replay, thanks for watching. You can always say hi in the comments, let me know that you're watching, and give this video a like so that we can get it in front of more people. So like I said in the beginning, in this video, I'm going to talk about the best way to assess your overall health and decide exactly how to eat and exercise so that you can improve your energy, your mood, your weight, and your digestion, rather than just taking advice from random people or somebody that you might follow on social media. I'm going to teach you how to assess your health first and foremost, and then also customize and decide exactly what's right for you. And because it's unique to you, you will actually be able to stick to it long term. So you're not going to feel like you're in this yo-yo cycle of eating really healthy and then eating a ton of junk food, or just inconsistencies with the decisions and habits that you're making on a daily basis. And before we get into that, what I want to talk about first is one of the biggest mistakes that I used to make, and I see a lot of other women making this mistake too, especially around this time of year with January coming up and everybody wanting to prioritize their health and start fresh in the new year. This is one of the mistakes that I used to make, and you might be making it too. So if you can avoid doing this, you're going to save yourself the trouble of feeling like you're doing everything, but nothing is working for you. And if you feel that way, you're definitely not alone. And you'll also save yourself a ton of time and energy because you're not going to be wasting it Googling symptoms or wondering what the best plan out there is. So you're customizing it, you're doing what works, and then you're consistent with that instead of jumping around from one thing to another and continuing to struggle. And what I find that most of the women who struggle with digestive issues, stubborn weight, hormone imbalances, that all or nothing mentality, and that have a poor relationship with food, they make the mistake of following surface level advice. And this surface level advice is often oversimplified and it's not unique to you. So if you're listening to advice, things like you need to control portion sizes or everything in moderation, drink 100 ounces of water a day, don't eat after 7 p.m., stay away from carbs and sugar, fast for 18 hours a day. Those are all examples of surface level advice, and some of the ones that I hear the most, or that women who are coming to me struggling with their health are often following. And there's a lot of terrible advice out there. I feel like some of it is a little bit more obvious than others. And the majority of it is perpetuated by the diet industry. So without actually breaking down exactly why all of these surface level pieces of advice don't work, I could go on and on about why you shouldn't be drinking 100 ounces of water, or why it's actually okay to eat after 7 p.m., or why you need carbs and you need sugar, or why you shouldn't fast for 18 hours a day. But without getting into each one of those individually, the key takeaway for this video is to stop following that surface level advice and to stop following anything that is one size fits all diet recommendations. Because the problem is with surface level advice and tips like you need to just cut calories or count macros or follow a diet template. So paleo, Whole30, Weight Watchers, Noom. The problem with following this advice and following these diet templates is that they all just teach you diet rules and they aren't specific to you. So when you do these things, all you're learning is that rule specifically. You're not learning anything about how your body works, what your body actually needs physiologically and psychologically. And more specifically, none of these things teach you how to support your metabolism. And a lot of these recommendations also involve going to extremes and relying on control and willpower and rules around food. And if you're going to have any plan that you're sticking to long term, it should not require having control or having power. And if it's going to some extreme in one way, that's a huge red flag. And the other problem with all of these pieces of advice is that it's not part of a larger framework that actually includes learning and listening to your body. So unless you're following those rules, like you're sticking to the plan, you're cutting out carbs, or you're sticking within your macronutrient ranges, if you are only following those rules, you don't know what to do whenever you can't follow those rules. So you're going to feel like you're either on or off over and over again, and you're not going to feel like you're sticking to the plan if for some reason you can't follow those rules. So you need to know how your body actually works and what needs to be adjusted when things feel off on a physical level. So with these surface level pieces of advice and the amount of restriction involved with them, the other huge problem is that they can actually be very detrimental to your health. So they damage your metabolism, they damage your thyroid hormones, they damage your sex hormones, and they are counterproductive to your long-term goals. So if you have long-term goals to have energy throughout the day and you want to be able to work out and move in a way that helps your body to feel strong, and you want to maintain a good, healthy body composition, and you want to feel confident in your body, then these rules are not going to help you to get those long-term results. So without actually knowing how your body works, what supports your metabolism, and how to honor your hormones, your hunger, and your cravings, and go back to all of those pieces of advice that I mentioned, none of them teach you those things. And what happens is you'll end up like a lot of the women who I see struggling, wasting months and months, sometimes even years, feeling like nothing's working, chasing symptoms, one thing after another, whether it's digestive related, fatigue, sleep issues, skin issues, and just not making the progress that you want to make and that you could have been making way, way before if you use this tool that I'm about to get into. So you'll keep jumping from diet to diet. You'll struggle with the cravings, the stress around food, the digestive issues, the hormone imbalances, and continue to feel uncomfortable in your body. And I do not want that for you. So we're going to talk about a new way instead of following that surface level advice and instead of trying to follow diets that are very one size fits all. What I want you to think about is eating and moving in a way that nourishes your metabolism and is customized to you, because you're the one customizing it. You know how to listen to your body and you know how to make it unique to you, your goals, your preferences, and your needs. Because when you focus on eating and moving in a way that supports your metabolism, you'll actually see far better results than someone who is just focusing on that surface level advice and following all those diet templates. So going into the new year, catch yourself if you're thinking about starting a plan that involves that surface level advice, or it's one of those diet templates, whether that's Weight Watchers or Noom or Whole30 or keto. I want you instead to think about, how can I support my metabolism? Because this is the best way to improve your energy, improve your digestion, improve your mood, and decide exactly how to eat and move in a way that's customized to you. And you know how to do it day in and day out on a week-to-week basis because you can adjust it and customize it based on how your body's feeling. So, like I mentioned before, there's actually a framework that you can follow that teaches you how to eat for your metabolism. And I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. So, if you're hanging with me and you're on board with this new way of eating and moving in a way that nourishes your metabolism instead of just following all those little pieces of advice, and maybe you do still keep some of those things in mind, but you know how it fits into a larger framework. And that's really what the key is, because that's where you'll be able to customize and adjust it based on your goals. So when you hear the word metabolism, something I want to clear up right away, because it's kind of like a buzzword, and you might think that it's something that only relates to your weight. So meaning if you're skinny, it means you have a healthy metabolism and like can eat whatever you want. Or if you have a slow metabolism, it means you have to be more careful with how much you eat, or you might gain weight easier. And none of that is true, because your metabolic function goes way beyond the ability to maintain your weight. So that word is thrown around a lot in the fitness industry, especially. And I want to give you kind of a different definition of it so that you can think of it in this way. So your digestion, your menstrual cycle, your thyroid, your stress hormones, and your ability to handle stress, your energy, your sex drive, your immune system, your hair, your skin, your nails, all of those things are a result of a healthy or a poor metabolism. And a lot of the modern day stressors that we experience on a regular basis and the dieting that we do, whether it's intentional or unintentional, the poor nutrient status that we might have within our bodies, whether that's from digestive issues or just from eating a nutrient poor diet, and the amount of exercise that we put our body through are actually what do a lot of damage to our metabolism. And it shows up in all of the ways. So all of those things that I mentioned, your digestion, your energy, your mood, your hunger levels, your sex drive, this is all a result of a healthy or a poor metabolism. So if you want to kind of do a little evaluation on the current status of your metabolism, you're wondering like, is it healthy or not? Or have I damaged my metabolism in the past, possibly with everything that I've been doing or trying? Then a good place to start is with my Well Nourished Woman Guide, and I'll put the link for that below. That kind of gives you a full checklist of things to look for. So there's the Well Nourished Woman checklist that will walk you through all of the signs and symptoms of a healthy metabolism. And that is why having a healthy metabolism and using your metabolic health is the greatest tool for assessing everything in your body and also deciding how to eat and exercise. And the sooner that you understand this, the sooner that you actually will know how to support your body. So instead of just following that surface level advice, instead of just taking a bunch of random supplements that you heard help with your energy or you heard help your hormones, or following a restrictive diet, whether that's clean eating or plant-based or paleo or just low calorie 1500 a day, and following those yes and no food lists, this is what will help you to get out of those surface level advice pieces. And so you'll stop dieting and restricting and chasing all those symptoms. And instead of wondering what's wrong with me, whether it's dealing with your energy or you have stubborn weight or you have digestive issues, you'll be able to get to the bottom of all of those things when you nourish your metabolism. And you'll have more energy, better digestion, better libido, less PMS, normal periods, maintain your weight, and have better, more steady moods. Those are all the things that can happen when you work on improving your metabolism, which is why the 5-step framework that I'm about to go over focuses on how to nourish your metabolism. So I'm going to get into this framework now, and I'm just going to outline it for you because this is what I teach in more depth inside the Well Nourished Woman group program, which actually opens for registration on January 24th. So if you want to get on the wait list for that and be one of the first people to be notified whenever registration opens, I will also put that link below. All right, so let's get into the actual 5-step framework. And again, this is what's showing you how to nourish your metabolism, how to eat and move in a way that helps your metabolism, which therefore helps your hormones, your digestion, your mood, your energy, and allows room for customizing it and making it specific to you, your preferences, your goals, your schedule, all of those things, no matter what season of life you're in or how busy you are, all of those things. All right, so step number 1 is measure. And what this actually means is getting a clear understanding of what your symptoms are telling you and how they're all connected. So, what gets measured is able to get managed. And whenever we're actually managing the things that matter, which isn't just your weight, there's way, way, way more than that. And you actually listen to your body using what I call biofeedback. So that is your energy, your hunger, your mood, your cravings, your sleep, and your menstrual cycle. That's where you determine what's working and what's not working. So in the Well Nourished group program, we have an entire checklist of what you need to actually be measuring, what you need to be paying attention to, and knowing what's working and what's not working based on how those things are showing up in your day-to-day life and your week-to-week life. So measuring is the first step. And when you get really clear on what's out of balance, it helps to give you a better direction to go in. So you're not just like throwing spaghetti at the wall, focusing on one thing, which for a lot of women, it's just focusing on their weight, and they don't know what they actually need to adjust to see improvements. So that's the first one, is measure. The second one is meals. So all these are M's, which kind of helps with having that alliteration piece. So with meals, this is where you customize the nutrition part of everything, which is usually where a lot of people start whenever they want to improve some area of their health. And we actually spend a lot of time here in the group program because what you're doing is you're learning how to eat in a way that is nourishing and simple and enjoyable. So it takes all the things into consideration when it comes to eating in a way that's enjoyable and meeting your physiological and your psychological needs. So that you're not really stressing about food that much anymore, and you're very consistent with the meals that you're putting together on a regular basis, no matter what. So whether you're busy or you don't like to cook, or you do like to cook, or you're traveling, all of those things, this becomes easy, doable, manageable. And so because it does take some time to first unlearn old nutrition and food habits, like not even eating after 7 p.m. or having to restrict carbs or having to restrict fat, we're unlearning a lot of those things. And we're relearning, we're getting really clear on what's actually not true, what are some of the more like diet dogma myths, and what is true and based off of your body's actual physiology, and then applying those principles of eating in a way that supports your metabolism, hormones, and digestion. So those are the 3 biggest things we consider whenever putting your meals together. And again, we spend 3 weeks on this because it does take a little bit of time to unlearn, relearn, and then actually apply everything and learn how to do it. And that's something that I coach you through. And with the group community, we can share what's working, what's not working, different different tips and hacks and things like that are helpful. So that is the second one. The third step of the framework is movement. So I see a ton of mistakes when it comes to exercising in a way that supports your metabolism and helps you to feel strong and move well. And so a lot of women are making the mistake of doing too much cardio or just working out super intensely for an hour. Maybe they're getting on the Peloton or doing an Orange Theory class or CrossFit class, and then they're sitting all day long. So we address these mistakes, and then we also talk about what to do instead and what type of movement that takes your hormones into account is going to be more beneficial. And then the 4th step is manage. So far we have measure, meals, movement, and then we have manage. And this is where the non-food components that still affect your health and your cravings and your hunger and your energy levels, this is where those things come into play. So these are the things like your sleep, your stressors, and also sunlight, which is a super overlooked area of your health that needs to be incorporated into your plan. So the lifestyle components, we talk about how to actually fall asleep and stay asleep. So if you struggle with sleep, that is a sign of poor metabolic health, but also we can do things to help promote better sleep. And then also working on not necessarily eliminating all the stressors in your life, although there is a lot of things that we can probably get rid of that are adding extra stress, but actually increasing your body's resiliency to stress. So it can handle stressors better. You're not as reactive and you don't feel stressed out as much. And then the fifth step is maintain. So we have measure, meals, movement, manage, and then maintain. And this is where I think a lot of people will do something for 30 days or even for 3 months. And they do it while they can and while they're in that zone. But what we want to do is work on incorporating all these things that are specific to us and that actually support our metabolism, and then practice those habits continually because we know that those are the ones that actually move the needle. And it's not something that's short-lived or short-termed. And even for some people, they'll lose weight for 3 years or 5 years, and then they'll end up gaining it back. We want to make sure that you're maintaining the habits and the results that you start to see, and making sure that everything that you're incorporating is easy to stick to. So you have all the shortcuts and things to simplify it and make it even easier for you. And another thing that really helps with this maintaining phase is getting support from other women who are doing the same thing and from a coach who actually understands what it is that you're doing, and also helps to come up with a plan for you that is specific to your metabolism. So that is the last phase, and something that we have to think about whenever we're going through not only the nutrition and the lifestyle pieces, but also figuring out how we're going to stick to it for the long term. So that's the 5-step framework. And again, just going over that, it's measure, meals, movement, manage, and maintain. And all of these are what we cover in more depth in the group program. And so if you want to get on the wait list for that, again, registration opens January 24th. And if you get on the wait list, you'll basically be the first to notified when enrollment opens, because it's only open to 5 women, because you get a lot of coaching and it does require a lot of interaction and weekly check-ins and things from me that we want to make sure that you can get the support that you need and also that you're fully committed. So I'll put the link for that waitlist below, and you can get on the waitlist. And the last thing that I want to mention too is if you are going into 2022 with any idea of starting some sort of nutrition plan or focusing on your health or prioritizing yourself, I want to encourage you to not try to DIY it and also not follow the surface level advice that's out there. So think about what you're planning on starting, and hopefully what we covered in this video gives you a good idea of a direction to go in. And you also know that there is a way to get more support. But I want you to just check in with yourself and make sure that what you're doing is going to be something that's actually customized to you, and you're using your metabolic health as that tool for assessing your overall health, your energy, your digestion, your mood, your hormones, and really deciding for yourself, being your own health detective and figuring out how to eat and exercise in a way that you can stick to not only for 30 days, not only for 3 months, not only for a year, but for the long term, because you can adjust it if things come up. You know that if your body's feeling a certain way, what you need to adjust. And that ultimately is what I want for any woman who cares about their health and wants to feel their best on a day-to-day basis. Alrighty. So that's all I have for you today. Again, 2 things to do after watching this video. One is get on the wait list for the Well Nourished Woman group program. And then the second one is if you want that Healthy Woman checklist, I'll put my Well Nourished Woman free guide below, and that will give you a great place to start. And it'll also give you a good idea of what a healthy metabolism actually looks like, so you know what's possible for you. All right. Bye for now.